We just people from the north side. Want some Timmy's at the shore fine. Winter ready on the full ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? It's your host, your boy, George Mackay, back here again for another MLW Rewind. These feel like they're so special nowadays because we don't do them too often. And when we do them a few days late because life is fucking crazy. As always, I'm your host, your boy, George Mackay, and with me is my cohort in crime, the one, the only, always chipper, yet kind of snippy, Uncle Bobby B.
Always chipper, but kind of snippy. Okay.
I was going to say snipper. I was going to say like chipper and snipper. But snipper seems too close to like stripper. And I don't want to give you that kind of credit. You're not a stripper. I mean, if you were a male stripper, I believe that you would be like Magic Mike, but like the Magic Mike nobody wants to see.
Yeah, that would be pretty accurate. I really don't like dancing, and especially with my clothes off, just it's even worse. I mean, dude, like the male form naked is not aesthetically pleasing. Like
it's true. It's true.
It's just I get why women or other men go to see males strip, but I'm like, the male form is just so undignified in its entirety. I don't know.
I you know what I feel you on that.
Got too much external appendage, just fucking moving around.
Well, for me, it's my spare tire or my keg, if you will. Once was a 6-pack, became a 12-pack, became a 24, then became a Bubba, and now it is a keg.
Just say you got a washboard stomach with a bit of laundry on top.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. A bit of laundry. Fuck, like 9 loads, bro. 10 loads. All right. Well, male form aside, let's talk about the male form when they are throwing each other around a ring and beating the crap out of each other. Let's talk some pro wrestling. Let's talk MLW Fightland, because that's what we do here on the Rewind. We talk MLW. And Fightland, if you didn't know, was this past Saturday, and it was free. That's right. September 14th, it was free for all to behold in its absolute glory on YouTube. And it's been interesting, for the beginning of the year, we had, in the tail end of last year, we had all the events on Thriller or Fight TV, however you want to know it. And you were paying the Fight Plus, which was $7.99 a month. We used to big it up all the time. It was a great value. You got a whole lot of indie wrestling to go with it. It was great. But now MLW is switching back to the YouTube format. And I'm not hating it at all, but I almost feel like they're prepping for a YouTube subscription. Well, that's what I feel. That's why I feel like this is going.
I think they do have a premium subscription service now where you can watch like archived shows and stuff like that.
Right, but I feel like eventually they're going to switch these events over to premium subscribers.
I mean, it's possible. I think YouTube has made it a lot easier for creators to monetize beyond just the money you get from ads. Like now you can have paid subscription, which, excuse me, is the direction we're going with a lot of things. Instagram has paid subscription now.
Sure.
The infamous Patreon. Like there's all kinds of. That seems to be the way we go now, is with paid subscriptions.
OnlyFans, Feed Finder, these are all paid subscriptions.
Fansly, they're all things that they find wrestlers on.
Yeah,
yeah.
You can absolutely find wrestlers on all 3 of those platforms, absolutely. And I believe you can also pay. I don't know, and somebody will be like, "Oh yeah, sure, he doesn't know," but I really don't know. I don't have Snapchat, so I don't know. I believe you can pay for a subscription on Snapchat. I'm not sure, but I believe that's another avenue.
Bro, I don't do Snapchat.
Yeah, my kids and her friends, they do it. They say it's like protecting your privacy, which I think is hilarious. But my daughter describes it as, if you can send it. And somebody reads it and then it disappears and it's like you never sent it.
Yeah,
you may believe in your head that you never sent it, but whatever you sent to that person, whether it be negative or positive, they're going to remember that you sent that.
Yeah, and it tells you if somebody takes a screenshot of what you just sent them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at that point, I mean, once you take a screenshot, what are you going to do? Text the person and be like, "No, don't fucking send that out. It's too late. I already took a screenshot."
I don't know, man. Kids these days, I don't know.
It's random.
I didn't even have Facebook. I didn't even get Facebook till like 2009.
Fuck, I think I was later than that. I got Facebook like 2011.
No, I don't think so. I'm gonna look it up right now. It should tell me.
What, when I got Facebook?
Yeah.
No, I was way late, dude. Way late to the party. I didn't get Facebook till after my wedding. So yeah, like 2009, like Cassie was born type dealy.
Wait, does it tell you?
I don't know. I don't know if it tells you when I joined Facebook. It would tell you when you joined Facebook. It'd be like member of Facebook since yada yada yada.
Life events? Nope.
Yeah.
I guess getting Facebook isn't a life event. Snap.
Not really. Trying to delete Facebook is a life event, though. It takes you a whole fucking year to get rid of that fucking shit, I tell you. It's crazy. All right, anyways, back to MLW Fightland. So we had the Opera Cup semifinals and the Opera Cup finals all wrapped up into a nice, amazing bow. And we get a kickoff with the first match of the night being KENTA versus TJP in the semifinal. This was semifinal number 1, sorry. This was a phenomenal match. Ref distraction, a low blow by KENTA. It opens up for the GTS for the win by KENTA, and he moves on to the finals later on in the show, which is our main event and
co-main event.
Co-main event. Thank you. And he's going to face the winner of Bad Dude Tito and Místico, which is going to be literally the next match. But I love this match. TJP in the second stage of his career, this reinvention of the Philippine folklore of the demon, which Joe Jombrowski told beautifully about all the symmetry and everything that it represents in the Philippine culture, in the Filipino culture. It was just amazing. And TJP has really embraced this side, now being the, I guess, the new leader of the United.
Yeah, he's the leader of United Empire.
Okay, so he is the new leader of the United Empire since Will Ospreay made the jump to AEW. So he's really coming into his own, and I'm digging this vibe, and I'm digging this look, and I'm digging. I mean, TJP was always a great wrestler in my opinion, but I feel like this character is something special, and I dig every aspect of it, from the look to the red contacts to the ring gear, the whole 9 yards. This match impressed the hell out of me. KENTA, I felt, could have won cleanly, but the low blow does set up for what we see later on in the night. But regardless, this match was phenomenal. Either way, if KENTA had moved on or TJP had moved on, in my opinion, still would have been a banger of a co-main event later on the show. Bobby, what do you got?
Yeah, it was a fantastic match. Two veterans who know how to put together. It was just so well put together. It flowed really well. The pacing was really good. Some great spots. Just two tremendously skilled workers. Like, it was, I was sitting there going, like, this is the opening match, and it's like already this good. So we're in for a treat tonight. Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I love, like you, what TJP's done with this reinvention of himself. New leader of the United Empire. So he's setting the bar for everybody else in the United Empire, including my boy Francesco Akira.
Absolutely, and a great segue. By the way, if you want to get to know a little bit more about Francesco Akira and you want to know a little bit more about TJP from a couple years ago, check the Straight Talk Wrestling archives. There are 2 conversations on the archives with both of these gentlemen. So yeah, check them out. Next event in the show, Contra promo. Great promo, preparing for Matt Krugger's chance at Kojima later on tonight, saying that they have taken all the major titles that they want to take in MLW, the featherweight, the tag titles. Only one title remains, and that is the heavyweight title. And pretty soon, they will control all of MLW. Hail Contra. Solid promo. Matt Krugger doing what he does best. Janai Kai looking absolutely demonic. Minoru Suzuki and Akira Kwan looking very, very, very dangerous. They're just being straight faced. I almost feel like after the promos are done being filmed and they cut, Krugger's like, "What do you guys feeling good? You guys feeling good?" And Janai Kai's like, "Yeah, I could really go for some ice cream right now." And Minoru Suzuki steps in. He goes, "No, frozen yogurt." You know what I mean? I feel like it's
Sure.
I always thought that. I even thought, like, when wrestlers would lock up in the ring, they'd be like, "Hey man, where do you want to go to the show?" I don't know, man. I had a rough night last night. I had a burger, it didn't agree with me. I was thinking, like, do you want to go light? Do you want to go vegan? And the other guy goes, "I don't want to go fucking vegan." And then the power slam happens. So I always thought, they always discuss food.
I mean, I have heard some funny stuff in the ring.
There you go, right?
In the few matches that I've refed, I've heard some. The best is when something funny happens.
Yeah.
And you're watching everybody else try to keep a straight face. And yes. I'll give you a perfect example, because it pertains to MLW because it's a pair of MLW alumni.
Okay, perfect. I love it.
Jordan Oliver is in the back because he's injured and he was our champion, so we had to vacate the title.
Mm-hmm.
In the match was Griffin McCoy and Pat Dynamite, I believe, and the ropes were real slippery. Griffin's telling off the crowd, doing the whole, this town sucks. Blah, blah,
He's
blah.
leaning into his character. Got it.
Climbs the turnbuckle to jump off the top rope, slips on the ropes, and just like face plants into the ring. So my job is, he's okay. Make sure he's okay. Yep, I checked in. He's okay. But for 10 minutes, I could hear Jordan Oliver like laughing from the back, and I could see Pat Dynamite he held it together, but his face was just contorted, trying not to piss himself laughing. Because once we realize everyone's okay, then it becomes funny, but you can't laugh.
Yeah, top rope fall, face plant. Yeah, that's dangerous.
We laughed at. Yeah, it was, and he like literally his legs just shot out because the rope was slippery, and he just went like face first into the ring.
Yeah, it's like a slip and slide on top of it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, please tell me he didn't break his neck. And I'm like, run, you good? Yep. I was like, okay, now we can laugh. But yeah, that stuff happens.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. Segue perfectly. Well done into the MLW alumni. I love that. But yeah, it kind of takes all the steam out of my my possible frozen yogurt situation. But whatever.
Yeah, you like to think that when the camera's off, they're joking around and they break the seriousness.
100%. I hope so. I mean, I hope so. I just hope.
Like, I'd love to see the B-roll
of that
when they do promos, like all their promos, because I'm sure at some point somebody's cracking a joke, and but you'll never see that because it's unless consistent they do like with Contra,
Yeah, you gotta keep a little of the mystique for sure, especially with your biggest heel faction that you have going right now in MLW. You have to do it 100%. We move on to the Opera Cup semi-final match number 2. This is Bad Dude Tito, the openweight champ, going at one and only, like, the most popular babyface right now in Mexico, next to Psycho Clown. He's Místico. And this was a good match. There's a lot of back and forth. Joe Dombrowski really laying down Mystico's like 36 hours. Fought, had to fly, took a red eye from Mexico to be there at Fightland, literally planned the match, got no sleep, might have had an hour tops on the red eye. Not sure what a red eye flight from Mexico.
Oh, that's a middle of the night.
Okay.
That's like flying overnight, so you got red eyes.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I get it. I get the concept. So literally took the red eye and came back. But again, Místico not missing a beat and would go on to hit the crucifix pin. And much like Tito had done to Alex Kane, where Tito had thought he had kicked out, Alex Kane thought he had knocked out Bad Dude Tito. Not the same kind of concept, but kind of karmatic in the way Bad Dude Tito lost this match, because the crucifix pin for the 1, 2, 3, and Místico punches his tickets to go one-on-one for the first time that we know of, and Joe Dombrowski knows of, and I trust Joe Dombrowski's factoids 100%, that Kenta and Místico will face each other, and that's in our co-main event later tonight. Rob, what did you think about this match?
Real good match. I mean, I'm a big. Actually, I had a little bit of egg on my face because for some reason I thought Bad Dude Tito was relatively new, like the last 3-4 years. But
well, it's new to MLW, but he's
been doing it for ages, and I had no idea, so I felt like a little bit like an idiot because I thought I was pretty in the know with stuff. But yeah, no, banger of a match. Karma did kind of kick in, and you have your open weight champ on the losing end, but it's still Bad Dude Tito. He doesn't look any worse out of it, so it was great. I love where they're going with these Opera Cup matches. Like, they're just so good.
Absolutely. Well, what was really good was the next promo. We got to see BRG, Bobby Fish, CW, and Brock Anderson all chilling on a rooftop, drinking champagne. BRG specifically wearing a very nice suit. Brock Anderson very much looking like his father from the 80s with a Ralph Lauren polo golf shirt and khaki slacks. And then you had CW and Bobby Fish looking like, two other members ye shall not name, i.e. what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, is that the foundation, the new forming of a 4 horseman type faction, is clear as day. The only thing we don't know is what the name of these 4 horsemen are going to be. There have been so many different reincantations of the 4 horsemen that, I mean, my favorite one would probably be WCW, when we had, Ye Who Shall Not Be Named, Chris Benoit, and Dean Malenko in the 4 horsemen for a little bit, and all that stuff. I enjoyed that work that Ric Flair did. Almost like he was reignited, if you will. Evolution, if you want to say, was also a different version of the 4 horsemen, a more updated version, if you will. So I'm interested to see, but you can already see the pieces falling into place, right? Like, BRG is clearly the talker, the Ric Flair. Bobby Fish is clearly the Tully. Brock Anderson, clearly his father, and CW clearly is excuse me. Who was the other guy in the Four Horsemen? I feel like such an asshole.
There were quite a few.
There were quite a few.
Well,
Okay,
you might be thinking of Ole Anderson.
Ole Anderson, thank you, Ole Anderson. Yeah, so there you go, thank you. So Ole is the CW is the Ole Anderson, all that kind of stuff. So it's very clear as day that this is what MLW is doing now. They're gonna have this other heel faction forming, and we also get another vignette right after this promo. Kevin Knight, formerly of New Japan and TNA fame, Kevin Knight is coming to MLW. I was able to see this guy wrestle at Slammiversary. I was able to see this guy wrestle at Bound for Glory when they were in Toronto and stuff like that. So this guy is the real deal. I enjoy Kevin Knight a lot, and I can't wait to see what he does in MLW. Next match on the card, Donovan Dijak versus Timothy Thatcher. This match was better than I expected, to be honest, because I thought it was going to be just a lot of beating the crap out of each other. But Dijak can move. For a big man, that guy can move around the ring. And I'm not saying to take anything away from him. His footwork was really impressive. I enjoyed what he can do. Timothy Thatcher was typical Thatcher. He was just on point as always. Thatcher, whether he's winning or losing, he always puts the guy over. And he is a workhorse in pro wrestling. And I think Timothy Thatcher is, I know he's appreciated, but I feel like he's still underrated. I feel like Timothy Thatcher needs to get his flowers for how much of a workhorse that guy really, really is. But Dijak hits the disruptor and he wins his MLW in-ring debut. He already debuted at the last event, but this was his in-ring debut and he wins. Joe Dombrowski in the ring. He wants a little word. MSL snatches the mic out of his hand like he always does. And they announce an open contract to face Dijak anytime. And everyone in the back locker room is a shit fighter, not a shoot fighter. And they're all scared of the disruptor. At that point, what can you say? Like I said, Dijak impressed me. I enjoyed the match. MSL doing what he does oh so well. And Dijak, you know what? Dijak, I gotta say, drop of the puns. Last couple of promos, man, very punished.
Dude, he's great.
I like it. I really do, man.
Wordplay, fucking
Yeah, man.
fantastic. I noticed that too. He's really those little things, but it's like it fits him somehow because you wouldn't think a big like just dominating guy like that is gonna come out with all these little rhymes and stuff like that, but he does, and it fits. Dude, I love it. I pop every time he does one of those things.
I honestly, I wouldn't mind a mixtape, like, like the Disruptor mixtape, you know what I mean? Like kind of like Macho Man when he had his rap album. No, but seriously, Dijak, I guess it's because we never really got to see him move in WWE. We never got to see him really talk on the mic in WWE. So we're getting to see all these things that we have yet to experience. And MLW is great for like putting the spotlight on these things that other companies might have taken for granted. So Dijak, yeah, okay, he's a big imposing figure. WWE didn't really use him properly, but that's what they made him out to be in WWE, other than that whole fucking retribution. I'm not even gonna get into that. T-bar and all that shit. We're not gonna get into that. But they never let him talk. So it's nice to see these talk, and I think it's good to put him with a guy like MSL, because MSL can talk on the mic. There's no doubt MSL can talk, but Dijak can talk and work, and him and MSL have some great chemistry. So I'm liking what I see. But sorry, I cut you off, so I apologize. Go ahead.
That's okay. I don't even remember what I was saying.
Just that his wordplay is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, and then just going back to we were talking about the Four Horsemen earlier. For me, it's actually I like the incarnations with Barry Windham or even Lex Luger the short time he was in there, because that's when I was kind of finding out about the Four Horsemen at that time, not early on. But yeah, the OGs, it's Arn and Tully, Ole, and Ric Flair.
I can't believe I forgot Ole. Wrestling fans, I apologize.
Dude, how many Andersons are there? Like it's
yeah, I know, but you know what? I was a big fan of Tully when I was a kid. I was a big fan of Tully Blanchard. I loved Tully and Arn as a tag team. I love that they were the NWA tag team champions. I'm a big fan of them, and I mean, say what you want to say about him now, but Ric Flair was awesome. I mean, Ric Flair and Sting. Ric Flair is the reason Sting is one of my all-time favorites, because that 60-minute Iron Man match they had for the NWA World Championship, a fucking incredible match. Go back and watch it if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's a phenomenal match. So yeah, but I feel bad that I forgot all these. So to all, historical, accurate wrestling fans, I apologize.
There you go.
There you go. There it is. All right. Now we have, sorry, do you have anything else to add for this match, or?
No, I was just going to mention, like, when I was talking about Barry Windham, Barry Windham being a
stalker.
Yeah, but like he's the the uncle of Bray Wyatt or was Bo Dallas. He's because Mike Rotunda is his brother-in-law, aka Erwin R. Shyster. I fucking loved IRS. But yeah, it's we've got this incarnation coming up that we're going to hear more about. But yeah, Dijak just looking real sharp in his early goings in MLW. I'm real excited to see what they've got coming down the pipeline for him.
Absolutely. And BRG and Bobby Fish, they're back out and they're taking over on commentary. They kick out Christian, which is, fine, I guess. I feel bad for him though, because I thought they were going to kick out Joe Dombrowski too, but nobody kicks out Joe because Joe has to deal with the abuse. I feel like Cole got a break. Christian Cole got a break when they said, go get some coffee, kid, but Joe Dombrowski has to sit there and take the fucking abuse that Bobby Fish and BRG lay out for him. But shout out to Bobby Fish and BRG. Bobby Fish, again, underrated hilarity. Like when he called out Joe Dombrowski for his breath smelling like everything that's wrong with Atlanta. I thought that was great. I really did. Like they just doing what they do best. And the Andersons are in the ring. They're facing the Bomaye Fight Club. This was a good match for me until the 4-on-2 assault. Then it was just great. At that point, it was fantastic. Bomaye down for the count until Kevin Knight does appear tonight, a little bit sooner than expected because they said coming soon. He comes out to kind of help Bomaye. And Thomas and Anderson are still in the ring. At this point, the ref has not stopped the match, which I thought I heard the bell ring earlier when the 4-on-2 assault happened, but I guess it didn't. And yeah, what can I say? Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, JBL shows up in the ring. He knocks Mr. Thomas on his ass with a clothesline from hell. Then he looks Brock right in the face, says, whoa, 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 whoa. Goes over, whispers something in his ear like he's been doing all over pro wrestling, and then he leaves. And then the Andersons for the pin and the 1, 2, 3. And it was just the whole sequence is fucking great. And you gotta wonder, again, this is where my mind starts turning about what wrestlers say to each other in the ring. I believe JBL went over to Brock Anderson, leaning in his ear, got real close, and he went, chicken wings are better deep fried. And then he just disappeared.
Okay.
That's what I feel.
My understanding is he is on a bit of a tour / how do I put this?
Chicken wing announcement.
He is observing. He is observing people.
And everyone he whispers in the ear, is that people he's got his eyes on?
I don't know what the whispering in the ear is, but I do know that this is kind of a tentative feelers that are going out from a big company to some other companies and looking at some people.
Okay.
So, if JBL shows up at your event, maybe you want to do a real good job that night. It's a little thing like that. Well, it's not a little thing, but like JBL showing up and then just kind of showing up and leaving. But he's been doing this at other places too.
Yep.
So might not seem like a big deal now, but this is something that could have big implications down the line.
Well, I like that.
Down the trough
I like that. Well, speaking of JBL showing up at events, I will be working an event that JBL will be at in November. Destiny Wrestling Haywire tapings. JBL was just announced that he will be in the building, so that's exciting. If you want to see a Hall of Famer, if you want to see JBL, if you want to see a clothesline from hell, if you want to see a whisper of a type of chicken wing, that's the place to be.
What venue is that going to be held at?
That's going to be a Don Koloff for the TV tapings for Destiny Wrestling's weekly episodic show, Haywire.
So that'll be in Mississauga, Ontario.
Yes, 4880 Tompkin Road to be exact.
Perfect. All right. So, keep your eye out for that if you're in the local area. Or on what network? Will you see that taping?
Oh, I know what you're doing. I just wanted to make you feel a little awkward. It'll be the Fight Network. Thanks.
You're not making me feel awkward. I'm hoping.
You know what?
I'm hoping Emilio promote the show.
It's true. Factual. And I guess you're saying I'm not. Great, thanks. Awesome. We're
See what I did
all
there?
great. Now I'm gonna fucking hear it. Oh shit, here we go.
See, you didn't even give the name of the venue, the
I
name
totally
of the
fucking
city.
did. I said Haywire Tapings in Mississauga,
After
November.
I prompted you.
Oh my god, here we go. Now you're gonna start doing that, eh? You're gonna start doing. Fuck, I already got that at my fucking job today with my actual shoot boss. Fuck that guy. I don't need to hear from you, okay? Straight up, straight the fuck up. All right. Anyways, after the match, we get a promo, and it's official. We are looking at the Four Horsemen 17.0. They are now known as the Rogue Horsemen. That's the horsemen they are. They are now the Rogue Horsemen. And Bad Dude Tito, he's in the back. He's pissed off, obviously, about the way the match went down. Matt Justice comes out. They exchange words. Things get heated. There's security. There's referees. Everything's happening. And obviously, this is where we're going next for the open weight title. We know who the challenger will be. And it does get announced a little later in the show. Adam Priest versus Okumura. This was an okay match, a little bit of a time filler. I was sure nice to see Okumura get the win, though. And he hits that Fisherman Buster, which was super sweet as always. And he picks up a much-needed win, a little bit of momentum after a couple of losses that him and Kojima have suffered at the hands of Contra.
Not just losses, getting their asses beat. Like Okumura keeps getting his ass kicked by Contra.
Well, then, the next moment obviously was not a surprise to anyone as Contra comes out. Quan and the Death Squad, they're coming out. They got their eyes on Okumura, but Akira coming to the rescue with kendo stick in hand, takes out everybody, lays everybody out. So now it looks like Kojima and Okumura not only have Matt Riddle as an ally, but now they also have Akira as an ally as well, which is fucking awesome. Speaking of Matt Riddle, before we get your opinion on all this stuff that goes down, he's leaving. He's got business to take care of. He wishes Kojima good luck for his title fight against bitch-ass Contra later tonight. And what happens? We get another great bitch-ass Contra champ between the two of them. And right after Kojima leaves, MSL and Lawlor come around the corner. Filthy Tom interrupting Riddle to challenge again for his title shot at Okumura. When is he going to cash this thing in so people can stop challenging him for it? At Pit Fighters, which is their next event, coming up very, very soon, actually, I believe September 26th, it's coming up like next weekend. Pit Fighters, they want to challenge, and he accepts. I mean, he doesn't accept right at that moment, but as we know, it is now announced that him and Tom Lawlor will face for the #1 contendership at MLW Pit Fighters.
Why does he keep putting this thing up? I don't understand.
Why not just cash it in?
Why not just say no? Oh, you want me to put my #1 contendership up on the line? No.
True.
A title defense, you can't say no. Like promoter says, you got to defend your title. You got to defend your title.
Fair enough.
This is a #1 contendership. You earned that. So somebody comes up, oh, you want to put that on the line against me? No, thanks. I'm good. Why risk losing it? I don't understand. I don't get the mentality of the way this is getting booked with this #1 contender thing being a fucking prize now that's transferable. This should be non-transferable. You're the #1 contender.
I guess it's because it's kind of like Money in the Bank, really. It's a title shot anytime, anywhere. But the fact that Riddle's had this title shot pretty much since April when Battle Riot happened.
But still, it's an optional. They're asking you to put it on the line. You're not being told by Court Bauer, this is on the line. You're getting asked. So what the fuck are you going to say yes to that for? I know he's stoned, but even like still, why are you gonna? Oh, yeah, sure, I'll put this #1 contendership on the line for what? What's the benefit to you if you win? You get to keep what you already have.
Yeah.
Why am I betting it then?
That's you know what? That's a fair point. I don't have an answer for you on that one. I mean, you're right.
This is the one thing I don't get hot at MLW often. This is the one thing I'm getting hot about because I don't understand why this keeps it's consistently becoming a thing he has to defend.
And it would be the first time that that's actually been defended multiple times, right? It's never been a thing before. You just punch your golden ticket and that's it, right?
Yeah, Money in the Bank is a physical thing. And like, again, you don't have to, but if you want to defend it, you defend it. But like, this is just you're the #1 contender. That's based on the matches you've won, the performances you put in, the people you beat. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm putting this on the line. If this guy beats me, he's the #1 contender. What if you lose to the bottom guy in the rankings? He's the #1 contender now. He's going to cash in. It makes no sense. I don't know. That's me. Maybe there's something going on I don't know about. I'm talking out of my ass. I don't know.
Fair. Well, we'll have to see how the storyline build goes. But yeah, you're right. It is a little bit confusing right now because we're not sure exactly where they're going with this storyline wise. But I see your frustration. I do. But what do you think about the Rogue Horseman being finally announced? And what do you think about Bad Dude Tito versus Matt Justice for the openweight title coming up at Slaughterhouse?
See, now you got me. Now I'm all hot because of this. Now I'm gonna start like
You went
burying
off on your
shit.
own fucking tangent.
Now I'm
Don't
gonna
blame
start
me.
burying shit.
Dude, I'm just laying out information. You went hot for whatever reason you did. All right, Walter White? So tone it down and let's go.
I'm very confused by BRG being part of this. Okay. This is Paul Roma vibes. I'm like, what? Like, I like BRG. I liked the whole I'm a Ken doll, I'm better than you kind of character. You could see the shift with him going to the business dress, dressing like he's going for a job interview, and like a change of tone, right? He's kind of not playing up to the I'm gorgeous, I'm better than you. He still is, but not in the same way.
Right.
So he's adapting to be a little bit more like what a horseman would be.
Right.
I get Brock and CW, and like CW was one of the Extreme Horsemen, and he's an MLW original. And Brock, okay, nothing against Brock, but like I've seen him. I think we first saw him 2 years ago in another place when his dad was working there. It doesn't look like he's gotten a whole lot better since then.
No,
I mean he's not a bad wrestler. Like I wouldn't presume to call somebody a bad wrestler when they can wrestle better than I can, but I just I don't know. It's good that he's got CW there, because CW Joe put him over and he was absolutely right. Dude looks fucking amazing. Didn't miss a step the whole, so I just Bobby Fish makes sense to me, the enforcer kind of, he's a tough guy. It's BRG that's kind of throwing me off, but I'll give him a chance. I want to see what they do with it. I'm not going to sit here and say that's a dumb idea. Let's give them a shot to roll with it. If it turns out like shit, then I'm going to go back and say that was a dumb idea. But for now, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Okay. And Bad Dude Tito and Matt Justice. Where you
liking
this feud? You liking this?
I like it because I like both these guys. It's going to be interesting because Matt does stupid things. He'll jump off, like he'll climb up to the ceiling and then just drop on you. But Tito's also tough as nails, and he's a bad dude. So I don't know who to pick in that one. It could go either way, but I don't see Tito dropping that belt anytime soon. He's just been too dominant overall. Matt just might, take a high risk maneuver and Tito will move out of the way, and that'll be all she wrote. So we'll see what happens.
We absolutely will see what happens. And now it is our undercard main event. So our co-main event sharing this is Krugger versus Kojima for the MLW title. This was a great match. Better, again, than I would have expected. I didn't go into it expecting too much, but what I did expect did happen. Kojima had it won. He does hit his cozy cutter. And boom, Janai Kai, she fucking interferes. She does what she does best. Contra's there. The match is now at that point is disqualification. So Krugger does not win the title. Kojima's still a champion, but we get a whole lot of attacking of Kojima. The body bag comes out. Suzuki is literally on his way down to the ring to help Janai Kai and help Akira Kwan and help Mads Krugger. And what happens? Akira and Okumura, they're there. They stop them in their tracks. Then it's just Janai. She takes out the ref who's trying to get control in the ring. Krugger's got the world title in his hands. He literally has it. Kojima's now been kicked out of the ring like he is nothing. Who shows up? Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle shows up, and he's ready for a fight. Kwan shows up. Riddle deals with Kwan. Kira slides in from the back after dealing with Suzuki in the back, and he takes care of Janai and Krugger. So right now, Akira's got it in the ring. Everybody's surrounding it. It's just fucking pandemonium as they fight to the back. What can I say? Everything that I expected to happen, the way this match finished. Kojima not looking weak by not taking the loss. Krugger not looking weak by taking the pin. We get to disqualification. This moves the Contra storyline forward. Akira shows up as the unlikely hero and ally. Riddle's still there. So if anything, like honestly and truly, if they were going to do a War Chamber match tomorrow, this would be your War Chamber match. Contra versus Kojima, Okumura, Akira, and Riddle. But we're not doing that. But this does set up some very interesting pieces. And I almost kind of wonder, roll with me on this one, I wonder if we're going to see a possible Akira heel turn again. I know he started off in MLW as a heel with the calling, and then he became a face when he left the calling. But I wonder if this is just Akira's way of working in and kind of being a double agent, kind of like Janai Kai was when she brought Contra back into the fold. I'm not saying Akira is going to be a member of Contra, but I almost feel like this is a means for the end for the Death Fighter. That's the way I kind of feel that this is playing out. But regardless, before we get into laying out the next events and we get into our other portion of the main event, what did you think about everything that was Krugger and Kojima?
Not much I could say that you didn't already say. It was a fun match. It had kind of what I expected from it. Krule looks a lot better than his last run in MLW.
He looks a lot leaner, I was going to say. He looks a little bit leaner.
He looks leaner and like he's a big cat, so
ridiculously huge.
Yeah, it's hard for tall dudes like that who put on bulk to like look that lean, but yeah, Kojima doing, the chop spots. I actually, if they weren't building up Kojima and Riddle so much, I would have put my money on Krule to actually win.
But are they really building up Kojima and Riddle? Because Riddle keeps having to defend the number one contendership and getting that shot, like you said earlier.
Well, that's the build, right? Because they keep having these interactions with Kojima-san, I can't wait to wrestle you.
Bitch ass
Contra. And then he keeps having to defend. So it's like, even though he's already the number one contender, they're really building up that Matt Riddle had to fight
true
to get there. So I think Matt Riddle is going to be the next MLW champion. But his first feud is likely going to be Atrocity Krule, in my opinion.
Okay. I don't hate it. I do see that where that's going. We just got to get to the point where Riddle is defending that title instead of defending the number one contendership. Next couple of events being announced, like I said, Pit Fighters September 26th. We now know probably the main event of the evening is Matt Riddle versus Tom Lawlor for that number one contendership. We also have Slaughterhouse coming right around the corner on the heels of that one, October 4th. We now know we're going to get Bomaye versus Contra for those tag titles. That's right. Kane and Thomas going one-on-one with Kwan and Suzuki. That should be interesting. And Tito and Justice for an open weight title fight. And we also have some more matches that will obviously be announced in the coming weeks. We get a Bomaye promo from the basement of the arena. Alex Kane is pissed. He wants BRG in a street fight in Atlanta. So that's going to be happening, probably happened after the Fightland tapings, and we'll probably get a Fightland 2. Oh, by the way, FYI, if everyone's wondering why we didn't do a part 2 for Summer of the Beasts, that was kind of in between. We were busy. So part 2 for Summer of the Beast was only 44 minutes long. There really wasn't be much for us to talk about for 3 matches. So that's why we kind of skipped that one. But regardless of the fact, we will definitely do a recap of Pit Fighters. If there is something to talk about with Alex Kane and BRG in that Atlanta street fight that obviously happened after Fightland, then we will definitely talk about that as well. And then we'll move right on to Slaughterhouse. And now we get our second main event of the evening. It's Místico versus KENTA in this dream match. And again, Joe Dabrowski stating this is the only time he knows of that these two fighters met. And dream match is the least thing that you can say. This was a glorious, poetic, art-filled journey of violence, decimation, bodies being hurt, bodies being used as weapon. Everything these two guys did was one word: epic. Yes, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And after so many near falls, so many close calls, so many moments, Místico finally, excuse me, gets the win via submission with La Mística. And he is this year's Opera Cup champion. And that means that he is next in line. After Matt Riddle and Kojima finally meet, when that happens, Místico, who knows, maybe Místico catches it in before because Riddle's taking forever to make a decision. So I know that I'm pretty sure he has a full year. So he has to cash in that number one contender shot at that title before next year's Battle Riot. Or else I believe it's null and void at that point. I believe it's a full calendar year he has.
Yeah, and then who knows? Kojima might not even be the champion when he cashes in.
100%. Who knows? Místico might be the champion for when he cashes in. We don't know. Right now, they're building Riddle and Kojima, so we're going to think that's where it's going. But who knows? There's been so many evolving situations. And the one thing I love is that MLW, even though they're not going week to week with the episodic stuff, before I get your opinions, I will say that they're giving us a lot of meat on the bone. They're giving us a lot of information. Some stuff we can't piece together yet, but this wouldn't be the first rodeo that Rob and I have gone down where there's things we can't piece together. And then there's nice surprises. Even as wrestling fans now at this day and age where we've seen almost every type of storyline that could possibly be seen, MLW finds a way to keep inventing something fresh. So I love that part about this, because as a fan of pro wrestling, not knowing where things going is kind of the coolest thing that there is in pro wrestling.
Yep.
So I'm, as much as I want to know where things are going, I'm okay not. I'm okay just letting certain things happen and be organic, like the Rogue Horseman, like BRG, like Bobby Fish, like Joe Dombrowski smelling like everything's bad with Atlanta. These are things that I just organically want to see happen. Rob, what's your thoughts on this main event? Místico KENTA dream match. I mean, fuck, man.
It was a great match. Just one thing I really noticed was it was a Poison Rana attempt that didn't come off, and KENTA just kind of dropped into an electric chair, and it was pretty obvious. But Joe sold it so good that he had me convinced that's what they meant to do. Joe knew what was up. He said it just like that. Like KENTA reversed it, like into it. He must have saw what was coming, reversed it to an electric chair type. Like Joe sold it so good that he had me convinced that's what they meant to do. So Joe is just a gem on commentary. Like, he gets pro wrestling. He is like the seasoning on every MLW event. He just makes it so much more enjoyable. So yeah, the main event was great. I thought it was a fantastic way to close out the show. We have our first ever Mexican winner of the Opera Cup.
Yes, I forgot to mention that.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
To Místico. And yeah, we got hopefully some great stuff in the pipeline from MLW. We definitely got the talent there. The storylines are going, so let's see the matches to go with it.
Absolutely. Okay, guys. So September 26th, we will be watching Pit Fighters. We may not release an episode that day, but a couple days later, we'll give you our review and thoughts on it. And obviously, Slaughterhouse in October. So as always, I'm your host, your boy, George Mackay. This is the one and only Chipper Stripper, Uncle Bobby B.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. You could catch him on the Magic Mike local world tours at any local dive bar or any hepatitis clinic. As always, peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you next time.
We just people from the north side. Once the Timmy's hit the shore fine. Winter ready on the full ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people from